Hi everyone, this is Carlo and welcome back to my channel. If you know me, you know how much I absolutely love accordion style illustrated journals and using traveler's journals with inserts, along with of course my passion for handmade notebooks and stationery. Now, the Travelers company has some fantastic options, like the watercolor insert, but it has quite a smooth finish and doesn't have an accordion structure. And while their concertina insert does have the accordion fold, the paper inside still doesn't have the roughness of surface that I'm looking for. So my mission today is to create my own accordion watercolor insert, and we're gonna do it together in this video. I'm gonna start taking you to a shopping trip to the London Graphic Centre, one of my absolute favorite places here in London for art supplies and stationery. Really, I could spend hours in here, but I need to stay focused. I'm looking for a very good quality big piece of watercolor paper, and after some thinking I went for this Arch hot pressed rough paper 185 GSM, and I paid £6.70, more or less the price of a ready-made insert. Now I'm gonna go home and see what I can make out of it. As I said, I want to create an insert that has an accordion structure, compatible with my traveler's notebooks, with a rougher surface that could give my watercolor a good grip and would encourage me to be more experimental, even a bit less polished, more rustic if you know what I mean. First thing, I'm gonna lay the paper on the floor and put some weights in the corner. Observing the structure of a regular accordion insert by the Travelers company, I see that when it's completely open it has 7 pages. So I'm gonna trace on my paper a modular structure with each page measuring 10.5 by 20.8 centimeters. Measuring and tracing the lines, I find out that the whole structure fits perfectly along the longest side of my paper. I drew this structure twice so that I can make 2 inserts, and there's still a good amount of paper left to create a smaller insert for my pocket notebook later. I cut the paper and lay the structure down again. Now, with a thin ruler, you can use anything that doesn't have a sharp blade, because we don't want to cut the paper. I gently make shallow indentations along the vertical lines that separate the pages. This will help us with the folding of the accordion. And we start folding, page by page, pressing down and making sure that our pages are aligned as much as possible. At the end, I put some weights on top to press the accordion into shape. It can happen that our shorter sides appear a little disaligned, a bit staggered, but we can even them out with a pair of scissors. When it comes to watercolor paper, I'm a big fan of irregular borders. So I literally grated away the uneven bits with my scissors blade. But you can choose to simply cut them straight. As you can see, I'm using paper clips and clamps to keep the accordion structure compact into shape at all times. It's time to create the cover now. On a piece of sturdy paper, I measure and trace a 21 by 22 centimeters rectangle. You can also, if you want, trace the middle vertical line at 11 centimeters, but it's not strictly necessary. I cut the rectangle and fold it in half. This will be the cover inside of which we're gonna glue our accordion structure. And if you follow the measurements correctly, you will see that everything will work smoothly. With the glue stick, I'm gluing the last page of the accordion to the inside of my cover, on the right side page, making sure I leave roughly a couple millimeters from the outside border and from the middle line, so that our insert will close well. We give it a bit of room for maneuver, basically. The clamps go back on to keep it in shape while the glue dries. I decided to turn around my insert because I want the front to open on the page that I glued on the cover. You can now check how the accordion unfolds. And in case you prefer the pages to unveil in a different direction, you can simply refold them in the other direction. I've also erased the pencil lines with an eraser, so it's nice and clean. All in all, with one big piece of Arch paper, I've managed to create 2 large refills for my traveler's notebook, plus a small one for my pocket notebook, in a passport size. And it looks so cute! The measurements for this one are 9 by 14 centimeters for each page module, and 19 by 14 for the cover rectangle, that will be folded in half. I've applied this white washi tape by Muji along the spines of my inserts, just to strengthen them a bit, in order to resist the traction of the elastics in our traveler's notebooks. I've used these little note cards by Sion Studio to create some sort of labels on the cover. I think they look so minimal and beautiful. Feel free to decorate your covers as you like, of course. My watercolor concertina inserts are complete now, and I'm gonna incorporate them into my traveler notebooks. I'm really looking forward to filling these pages with a lot of watercolor illustrations and travel notes. I'm very satisfied with the result. For the price of one insert, I created 3 inserts exactly with the kind of paper I wanted. It didn't take too much time or effort, and nothing beats the joy of having something handmade and personalized, which is pretty much the spirit of this YouTube channel of mine. I hope you liked this tutorial. I want to create more stationery pieces for you in the future. And if you're up to it, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell to be always notified when a new video is out. This was me, Carlo, and as always, take care, be kind, and I'll see you soon.